And again, I will give you the historical references and paste them in the room. Now, Asma, who is Aisha's sister, is 10 years older than Aisha. Aisha and Muhammad were married between 1st and 2nd Hijrah. At the time of Aisha's marriage to Muhammad, Asma was between 27 and 28 years old, 1st Hijrah. How do we know? How do we know this? Historically, and I, again, post in the room, Asma died in 76 Hijrah. She was 100 years old, right? So in 1st Hijrah, she was how old? Between 27 and 28 years old. If she died in 76 Hijrah at 100 years old, which we have 3 historical references that confirm that. In fact, Ibn Kathir, that he uses, confirms the fact that she is 10 years older, and she died in 76 Hijrah at 100 years old. So thus, that confirms that Asma was between 27 and 28 years old at the time of Aisha's marriage in 1st Hijrah, right? So now, Ibn Kathir, his reference again, makes it very clear. Asma is 10 years older than Aisha. Ibn Kathir.
Where? Ibn Kathir, give us page, give us the name of the book.
We're going to get to that. You just hold on. We're going to get to that.
No.
We need...
Okay, I'm going to give you that. Just hold on a second.
Yeah, Muslim truth. We need to move this up, so you need to give the reference and make the point, because I can't keep on this same circle, so go ahead.
Keep him off me for a minute, for like 30 seconds, so I can then...
Go ahead. I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Just 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
So again, I've shown clearly that Asma was between 27 and 28 years old at the time of 1st Hijrah. I've shown clearly, and again, showing his own reference, that Asma died at 100 years old in 76 Hijrah. From his own reference, I would show Ibn Kathir states clearly that she was 10 years older than Aisha. Thus, the common sense would tell anyone, and in fact, from another historical reference, it's made very clear that Aisha was between 18 and 20 years old at the time of her marriage to Muhammad alayhi salam. Thus, that would be confirmed by the Quran, because the Quran makes it very clear, balagu, one who has reached beyond the age of puberty, and one who is sexually, intellectually, and physically mature. End of story. Now get out of here, Christian Prince.
Okay. Go ahead, Mother Prince. Go ahead. Christian Prince, go ahead and respond.
Arabic, and there is no word in Arabic. It's called balagu. So go and learn Arabic before you speak. It is balagu, not balagu. Okay? You are speaking the Bambu language, not Arabic. Secondly, you did not give me any reference. We said, where in Ibn Kathir? Ibn Kathir. You have no courage to say what the name of the book, which page. Where is the reference? It not exist. I'm showing you from Ibn... You know what? Even from Ibn Kathir, if you go to chapter 65, verse 4, Ibn Kathir is saying for their very young age. This is a divorce surah. It is talking about divorcing them before they have their period, so God knows when they get married. Secondly, everybody can read the verse you mentioned to us. It doesn't mention anything about the age of immature. It says, at the age of marriage. What is the age of marriage in Islam? What is the law? The law is what Muhammad did. This is called the Sunnah. And Muhammad, according to your Islamic books, and you could not give me one reference against my reference. Just to show everyone here that Muslims, when they say things, they think people, they are dummy. Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 4738, this is the book of the Nikah. Let me give you a list of Hadith, not only one, okay? Because maybe one is not enough, okay? We will go to another Hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, the book of Al-Manaqib, Hadith number 3605, the marriage of Aisha and his coming to the city of Al-Madinah. We go to different Hadith, Sunan Ibn Majah, Hadith number, the book of Al-Nukah, Hadith number 1866, Nukah al-Sigar, the chapter name even, marrying children. This is even the name of the chapter. Nikah al-Sigar, marriage to children. Hadith number 1866, Sunan Ibn Majah, the book of Al-Nukah. By the way, the Nukah means the F word. Let us continue. Sunan al-Nisa'i, we will see in the book of the F word, Al-Nukah, Hadith number 3203. إنكاح الرجل ابنته الصغيرة, the man making his daughter, the young daughter, the child daughter, marry to someone. This is the name of the chapter. I can give you as many as you want from Hadith. He could not give us one because he knew he is not telling the truth. And by the way, I have more than 200 Hadith all of them from Islamic correct book, saying it clearly, she did marry him at the age of 6. And I want this from all the listeners. Go to YouTube and type the word of Aisha, age of Aisha. You will see many videos made by Muslims, Muslim scholars. They are explaining why the Prophet, he did marry Aisha at the age of 6, and this will prove that everything he said to us is a lie. Because if his scholars, they agree with me, it means his scholars are Christians and they are working for me according to his thought. He is accusing me to be a liar, and everybody will go and see by himself. It doesn't take you more than 3 seconds to search in YouTube, and you will watch a lot of videos made by Muslim scholars from Islamic TV, like Iqra. You know, this is a very Islamic TV, Sunni TV, from Saudi Arabia. People when they lie.
Right. And what, you know what the funny thing is that, you know, we have about 20 minutes remaining, but I want to say that, you know, everybody out there listening can actually go and check out the references. He's given you all the references to going on to the different sites, the different areas of where to find it within the Hadith and the Quran, and where to go, and the variants and the translation of the language. We're not trying to say our opinion here, and this is what I do not approve of. You know, on my show, anybody who's listened to my past shows, I try to get into stating exactly to check it out for yourself. Check the references, check the language, check exactly where it's at, and do your own homework. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that need to go out and check and see. And here's one thing I want to kind of touch on before the last 20 minutes meeting. This is kind of important to me, dealing from a Christian radio show here that we're doing, is dealing with this. As Muhammad the Prophet himself, as compared to you know, the Christian faith and even going to the Messiah, Jesus himself, the question is really, who is the greater prophet? Whether you want to say who is this, he's that, he's a man, but the fact is, and I think Christian Prince would agree, is that even in the Quran itself, which is, you know, does not predate the Bible. In fact, the Bible being, you know, being 66 books by different authors and spanning different time frames, and written by men who walked with Jesus himself, written within 50 to 60 years after his death completely, we have an accurate understanding of what the text says. And here's what we need to understand, is that the text itself, the New Testament, deals with Christ being born of a virgin from God. The Quran teaches that. He is the Messiah, the anointed one. The Quran teaches that. Now remember, this predates the Quran. It's more like the Quran is taken from what has already been acclaimed, that he was resurrected and rose to heaven bodily. The Quran teaches that. I mean, now if you compare that to, let's say, to Muhammad himself, which I would think, you know, Christian Prince, you can kind of expound on this, is who would be considered more of a prophet of God, one who God actually produced without a father in the virgin birth, as well as being resurrected bodily, being called the Messiah and upheld? And then the Muslims want to downplay him and say, he was just a prophet of God. Muhammad is greater. He was just a prophet. You know, he was just a man. God can't be a man. Now, I have shows on this dealing with the deity of Christ, from the language, from the followers of Christ. It's very clear what Christ claimed, what his prophets and his apostles believed, and what was prophesied concerning him in the Old Testament as God who needed to come to be the confirmation of the covenant and die for the sins of the world. And even in the book of Hebrews, was written by a Hebrew to the Jews, makes that the one who made the covenant of the Old Testament must be the one to die for that covenant. So the one who made the covenant to his people, to the Jews and everybody else, was God himself. And he's the one that says in Hebrews that the one who made the covenant must be the one to die for that covenant. Now, Christian Prince, give me some of that differences between Christ being just a prophet and Muhammad being a prophet. Which one is really the greater prophet that we should actually follow and listen to?
Before I go and answer you, brother, I want people to go to chapter 3, verse 28 in the Quran, and they will see why the Muslim, he was willing to lie, because his God allowed him to lie. By first, you know, in Islam, when you attack Islam, the Muslims, they will try to put you down as a person, making lies about you as a person, so people, they don't trust your words. This is their strategy. Secondly, they are allowed to lie and allowed to swear by the name of their God to defend Islam. It doesn't matter how they are lying, because Allah said, you can say something in your tongue and something else in your heart, as long you are doing it for my sake. And Muhammad, he said, the Muslim, he can lie in 3 cases. Lying to your wife, lying to your friend, and lying to your enemy. So I ask myself, then who is left if I can lie to my friend and lie to my wife and lie to my enemy? And this is a hadith. Everybody can search for it. Go and search in Google. lying in a tree according to the Prophet. You will see it from Islamic sources. They are approving it and they are saying it's true. Now, regarding what you said, Muhammad, he has no way and any way to compare with Jesus, because I will consider that as an insult to my Lord. Child molester, allowed in lies, promising sex, allowed in child abuse, because if you think about it, many, they don't think about this.